Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today we have even more secrets to talk about in the Division 2. If you didn't see, I recently released this video talking about a new potential secret mask that might have made its way into the Division 2 in the latest Season 2 update. If you want to hear the full stories and details on that, I will leave a link in the top corner and down in the description. However, since making that, it has come to my attention that there are even more secrets and unexplained additions that seem to have made their way into the game, like I said, with this Season 2 update. So today I want to break one of those down in particular and give my thoughts on it because it is pretty darn interesting. So if you enjoy coverage and breakdowns like this on the Division 2 and you want to stay up to date, then consider clicking that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. But let's go. So I made this video a few months back kind of talking about the general idea of keeping an eye out for changes that could be made to the terrain for the Brooklyn DLC that we know is coming at the end of Year 5 in Season 4. Now, the general reason behind me making that was that game development is a very iterative process, right? And it is not uncommon for things to get added early, especially when you have a laid out roadmap and a plan like that to make something like a DLC. Changes can happen, and sometimes those things will make their way into the live game before the overall package does arrive. And so in that video, we talked about one particular instance of that, and in general, I just said keep an eye out on the terrain, across the water there in Brooklyn, and for any geographical changes that might be made in anticipation for this DLC. And now with Season 2, that sort of seems to have been what has been discovered. Now, full credit to this goes to Solar Fear here on YouTube, who alerted me about this and basically pointed me in the direction of going into this whole investigation. And for future reference, any discoveries or things like this that you ever want to send to me, feel free to, whether it's here in the YouTube comments, over on Twitter, Discord, you name it. But for this one that Solar Fear discovered, it seems like a pretty major terrain change was made in the New York section of the map in the Division 2, and that to my findings, this was added with Season 2. So what you're going to want to do is find your way to the waterfront control point in New York City. You can see it's down here on the map. And then if you just go slightly northeast of where this is, you will find this building. It has kind of an interesting looking Black Tusk radar on the top. There's also a Black Tusk hovercraft in the background. Now you might be wondering, okay, what changed? Well, how about the fact that this all didn't used to be here? How do I know? Because this is what it looked like before. Now the credit for this image and all these comparisons goes to various things and stuff here on YouTube. I will leave a link to their video down in the description where I was able to find and get this angle from. And from my continued digging, I was able to find images from as recently as 9 months ago, so within 2023, that this hovercraft didn't exist. This radar building seems to have been here, but the hovercraft itself, you can see, is entirely new. And like I said, the most recent image I was able to find was 9 months ago, but if you have anything more recent, then do let me know. And based on Solar Fear's comment, and this is the time when people are discovering this, all signs point to the fact that this was added with Season 2. Now the question becomes, why? My best theory is that it has something to do with the narrative elements of Season 3, in which we know we will be returning to New York for some continued story here. Now, from my inspection, I can't tell anything special about this hovercraft. There's some numbers on the side there. If those are any different, then I'm not sure. And if you do notice anything abnormal in your own investigations of this, then certainly let me know. But maybe this hovercraft has particular narrative purpose in Season 3, or it could also just be some general environmental flair that they plan on adding to suggest a greater Black Tusk presence in New York for Season 3. Beyond that, I really can't tell. The orange search and rescue helicopter that sits right here in front of it does kind of stand out to me compared to some of the other placed assets, so I don't know if that has any particular relevance or if it's just there alongside these other bigger Black Tusk choppers. But that is about everything that I've discovered with this. But it is just pretty wild that compared to, like I said, just before Season 2, this giant hovercraft that is parked right next to this control point didn't exist, and it's now here. Because of this, I did also give Brooklyn a sweep across the water, with my Nemesis sniper scope and all that. I didn't notice anything different compared to the video that I mentioned previously where I did specifically investigate Brooklyn. But I think this whole deal with the hovercraft is clear proof that backs up my point in that video, which is that you should always be keeping an eye out for unannounced changes like this. And for all we know, there could be more out there right now for Season 2 that have yet to been realized. It's often hard to keep track of things like this because people aren't going around and constantly documenting what different places look like because we'd have no idea where to look. But in this case, we were luckily able to find this out, so thanks again to Solar Fear for pointing this out to me. And like I said, if you have any other discoveries that you end up finding, certainly do let me know. But for now, go get hunting on anything else that might be in the game right now. My friends, that is all I have for this one. Do let me know all of your thoughts on this down below. What is your reaction to the sudden appearance of this Black Tusk hovercraft? If you do end up going here in-game and you take a look look at it, is there anything unique that you notice about it compared to some of the other ones we have in the game? And I don't know, just let me know your thoughts and what your theories are on why it's here. That is going to do it for me today, though. Everybody, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. RogueGold, out.